Hi everyone, how are you doing? I hope you're great. Today we will have adverbs. So first you log in using the aplusstudent.com. Click on your name, move on to language at the grade 8. Chapter is adverb, lesson will be transition with conjunctive adverbs. Alright, so we will start now. So conjunctive adverbs are words that connect two sentences or independent clauses and show the relationship between them. So they connect two sentences or independent clause and show the relationship between them. Now, conjunctive adverb can help readers understand how ideas within a piece of writing relate to one another. So it helps the readers understand how ideas within a piece of writing relates to one another. For instance, conjunctive adverbs can show cause and effect. So we have consequently, therefore, as a result. So this conjunctive adverb here shows cause and effect. Then compare or contrast ideas. We have likewise, however, on the contrary. So this conjunctive adverbs show you contrast or they compare. So add information, moreover, in addition, furthermore, all these, add information. And then introduce elaboration. We have incidentally, for example, in fact. So these are all the different ways that the conjunctive adverb works. To use a conjunctive adverb, you have to consider how the idea in the text relates to one another and what relationship are suggested by different conjunctive adverbs. So you have to check how they're related. An avid traveler, Sarah visits several foreign countries each year. Consequently, she has accumulated a large collection of souvenirs from around the world. Now, consequently, it shows what? It shows that Sarah's traveling is the result that she has collected so many souvenirs. So that's the reason why she has lots of souvenirs. Okay? So let's look at some examples. Okay, so we have completed text with the better conjunctive adverb. When Ethan King was 10, he and his father traveled to Mozambique. Ethan brought along his soccer ball and was surprised that the kids there viewed it as an unusual dash. So we have an empty space here. It was unusual to them until then they had been kicking around bean bags wrapped in twine. So you have to choose the right conjunctive adverb. So we have what? In fact. And it says that in fact better connects the idea in the text. This conjunctive adverb showed us there's a clear reason why the kids reacted as they did. Instead of a soccer ball to eat ants, they had been using beanbags as their soccer ball. Okay? So, in fact, introduces an elaboration. All right, let's see more examples. If you want to enter the writing context, you must submit your short story no later than 5 p.m. on December 12th. You will have to wait for next year's competition. So we have an empty space here, and that will be what? Otherwise. All right, so it's just saying that if you do not submit early, then you would have to wait next time. Okay, so we have this flower print dress would be perfect for the garden party. So Sophia thought when she saw it on the rack at the clothing boutique. I am not sure actually I am not sure I actually need a new dress. So what's the right one here? So we have on the other hand, I'm not sure I actually need a new dress. All right, so let's move on to the test, okay? And you can share your answers. So complete the text with a better conjunctive adverb. We have on the Hubble Space Telescope, two new cameras, the advanced camera for surveys and the Wild Field Camera 3 can now capture ultraviolet light. So we have a space here. Dash the Hubble Ultra Deep Field image of 2014 shows for far more galaxies than were visible in 2009 image. Okay, so as a result, or however, So we have however, but then if you say however, it is wrong. We need as a result as the right one, not however. Okay? Some wild animals are primarily monogamous. Swamps, for instance, form bonds that last many years and sometimes for life. Dash French angelfish live, hunt, and travel with their chosen mates and form bonds that often last their entire life. On the contrary, or likewise, which of them? So we have likewise because she's just showing similarities. So you can scroll down and see that likewise better connects the idea in the text. Okay? Okay. So what do you think would be the right one for this answer? On the other hand or in other hand? So we have in other words they were plant eaters. So to improve your soccer skill, develop control by dribbling the ball close to your feet. Study how the best player handles the ball and try their moves yourself. Dash keep practicing. Finally, hence, which of them? Alright, so we have finally keep practicing. Okay. One might assume that well known painter Vincent van Gogh was highly successful during his time. That while he painted more than 800 canvases, just one sold when he was alive, the Red Vineyard. So, moreover, or on the contrary. Alright, so we have on the contrary, while he painted more than 800 canvases. Okay, so we have our SUV broke down on the highway and we were stranded for hours. Dash a tow truck came and gave us a ride in to the nearest service station. So finally, or in other words, so we have finally, okay. So the Natural Resource Defense Council found that nearly 10% of Americans' beaches are contaminated by sewage runoff and pollution. NRDC recommend that you research whether your favorite beach is contaminated. That you don't want to endanger your life. Hence or after all. So we have after all, you don't want to endanger your life. If you want to enter the writing context, you must submit your short story no later than 5 p.m. on Wednesday on December 12th. Dash you will have to wait for next year's competition. In fact or otherwise. We have otherwise. Alright, so what do you think the right one will be here? However, or also. All right, so we have, however, Alice Walker rekindled in. So we have former firefighter George designed an innovative fire hydrant that's stronger and more resistant to the elements in than earlier design. Dash, one of his test hydrants, even survived Hurricane Sander in 2012. Besides, or in fact, so we have in fact, okay. Leah was born and raised in Louisiana and is an expert when it comes to Cajun cuisines. Thus, the Pattons asked her to cater their Cajun team party. Hence, however, which one? Hence, Diana's field hockey team won the state championship earlier today. Dashi and her teammate had an excuse for their rather boisterous behavior at Dinado's restaurant tonight. Hence a meanwhile. Hence, alright, so we have this. What do you think is the right answer here? Would it be, for example, nonetheless? So in 1859, John Weiss left Lafayette, Indiana in a hot air balloon carrying a bag of mail bound for New York City. After 5 grueling hours, Weiss landed 30 miles away in Crawfordsville, Indiana. Dash the letter eventually arrived in New York by then. For example, nonetheless, which of them? So we have nonetheless. Alright, that's it for our lesson under adverbs. Can you tell me if you have any questions? Alright, since we have no questions, we'll end here. Try to complete this lesson if you haven't done it. See you all next time. Bye.